All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, right here, right now, we are live in full effect, and we have the queen of R&B. We got the one, the only Porsha, here to promote her brand new single, Genie in a Bottle. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I hope everything's all well out on your end during this terrible pandemic. You know, 2020 really has not been a good year for anybody.
Right, correct. I definitely agree with you on that one.
But if you don't mind me asking, I want to take you back to the beginning, back when probably times were much easier for everybody all around the world. But what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially? Like, what actually sparked your passion for music?
When I was dealing with colon cancer, thank God I'm a survivor now, 5 years, so that was more like my escape. Put my headphones on and music, that was it for me.
And I do want to say I'm glad you're still here with us as well, blessing us with your amazing musical talent. And first and foremost, just fuck cancer.
Yes, definitely.
But at the end of the day, you're still here and you're blessing the world with amazing music. So thank you for everything you do for music, because you have some amazing songs.
Thank you.
And also, at the age of 15, you actually began writing your own music. I was wondering, do you actually remember the first song you wrote, and did you actually take the words and put it into an actual song?
My first song, it was a gospel song. So, yeah, I took it in and I sung it at church as well. Also with a praise team. So, yeah.
And I have to ask you, like, what actually made you venture in from gospel music to rhythm and blues? Like, was it just like family growing up that you were like in choirs or whatnot, or what actually infused you going over to the R&B side of things?
Yeah, it was more like the Southern soul, especially with my mom, playing the music back in the old days, old school type of music. So I was really feeling the soulful music.
And I gotta ask you as well, because what's your take on today's R&B? Because I do know that some people love the auto-tune type stuff. Like, what's your take on it? Do you actually miss when R&B used to be like 112 and Blackstreet, or do you actually like the new rhythm and blues a lot more?
Yes, I do definitely like the new rhythm more, but I kind of more like on the back in the old days R&B too as well. I definitely love like the Monica, the Keisha Cole, the Patti LaBelle, Betty Wright, all that type of stuff. Cabaret Span, Casey and JoJo, Tyree. So I definitely love their music.
I most definitely agree. I'm a huge 112 fan, so you know what I mean. I love their work they did with Bad Boy Records.
Yes.
And also, a few years after, at the age of 18, you actually published your own book, A Girl with a Troubled Life. I was wondering if you tell our listeners a bit more about that book. And of course, where can our listeners snag themselves a copy if it's still actually available to be purchased today?
Well, right now we're still trying to get everything to get published for the book, but it was me going through a personal life, when I was very young with a troubled life, dealing with a lot of stuff I've seen growing up. And it was kind of hard for me, but thank God, I personally I went through everything, and with God, everything was possible. So it's definitely trying to get published now.
And also, do you ever feel like you're going to publish like another book or anything like that, or is that the only book that you actually had the opportunity to create?
Actually, I'm working on one as we speak.
Oh, nice. I was wondering. I'm sure you probably can't throw too much out of the bag, but if you can, tell our listeners what can they expect from your new book.
For my new book, it's about behind the mask. We all go through things in life, and we try to cover up the inside of how we truly feel. And it's now we're trying to, really speak for ourselves and really tell the world how we really feel on the inside. Dealing with depression, emotional, spiritually, whatever it is that you're dealing with. It's time to bring it forward, and don't always hold it inside. So it's behind the mask.
And also, you are currently signed to Water Music. I was wondering, how did that record deal come to be for you? And of course, what is it like being signed to an actual label?
Oh, it's great. I love it. I love them. They are, when I say they hot, I love it. Most definitely.
And I have to ask you, who is currently signed with you on Water right now? Like, is it just you, or is there other R&B artists as well?
It's just me.
And also, as well, you are the CEO of P&K Productions, LLC. I was wondering if you tell us a little bit more about that company. And of course, what's the story behind the formation of that?
P&K Production is Porsha and my daughter. Her name is Keziah. We sell pocketbooks, name brand clothes, shoes, jewelry. We sell it all. I want to be able to leave something for for my daughter. You know, how the world is today, you know, you never know. So I definitely want to leave something for her.
And also as well, like, where can our like listeners actually snag up some of that jewelry? Because I do know we have a lot of female listeners that probably would most definitely go like actually buy some of your work.
On Facebook, CK Production.
Okay, nice. And also, you did work with Flexo on your song She Don't Have. I was wondering, how did you and Flexo get connected? And of course, what was it like working with that individual?
Working with Flexo, it was really dope. You know, he's cancer in the family. So when I say Flexo, he's definitely hot. Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists that I do love to work with.
And if you don't mind me asking as well, like, do you guys have any future projects together, or is that the only current one that you have right now?
Right now with me and Flexo, that's the only one that we have right now, but we definitely get ready to work on something really soon.
And I gotta say as well, that song is absolutely phenomenal. We've actually been having that playing in the radio station rotation as well, and, you know, individuals are eating it up. We actually had a few call-in requests for it as well.
Oh, that's great. I definitely gotta let Flexo know this.
And most definitely, if you keep creating it, Porsha, we here at Outlaw Radio are most definitely going to keep spinning it.
Okay, sounds great.
And also, what you came here for is to promote, like I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, your brand new single, Genie in a Bottle. I have to ask you, what is the story and inspiration behind that amazing song? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy right now?
Genie in a Bottle is now available on all platforms. You also can listen to it on my website, www.theporsha.com, and also the video will be out next Friday, so definitely stay tuned.
And the one thing I was really wondering when I actually like saw the name of the song, like I grew up in the '90s, right? So I know you're probably going to ask this, and I probably other individuals going to ask you as well. Was it inspired by Christina Aguilera's song "Genie in a Bottle"?
I actually found out that she wrote it after I did my song, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't even know that."
Because I was wondering, like, I do know, like, a lot of individuals, sometimes they create songs, like, because they influence them and whatnot, you know? But I have to say, I haven't heard that song by Christina Aguilera in years, but, you know, I'm kind of glad because it really got shoved down our throats back in the 90s on the radio.
And yeah, and I definitely love hers. Yes, I definitely. I was like, wow, I never knew she, you know, had a song called that.
And I have to ask you, Porsha, what is next for you? Is there anything else you want to promote? Any new projects? Anything else that you've currently been working on that I actually did not bring up during this interview that you want to promote right here, right now with our live studio audience?
Right now, we're not promoting anything, but I definitely want to say my album will be out at the beginning of next year, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I will be having my album out.
And also, Porsha, this is the time quickly before I wrap things up during the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the radio station, just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, and of course your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Porsha if they're not already doing so.
Okay, with my social media, I'm gonna go with Facebook first. It's Porsha M. My Instagram is at Myers Porsha. And also my website is www.porsha.com.
Most definitely.
I want to give a shout out to my producer, Michael Brooks, Terrence Brew, my mom, my dad, my family, and my friends, my fans, and you guys for having me on this radio station.
Hey, you are most certainly welcome, Porsha. You are a very talented individual. I'm glad to hear that you are still here with us making music, and you know, when you drop your next project, don't hesitate to have MJ reach out to me. We most definitely will get you back up on the Canadian airwaves to help you promote any new projects. Thank you so much.
Thank you.